Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Welcome back if you're new here. My name is Kara. I am a former public librarian turned homeschool mom of 2 kids entering 7th grade and 4th grade. This is our, how many years have we been homeschooling? Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. We're entering our sixth year of homeschooling. So today's video is kind of going to be a little bit chatty and a little bit kind of me sharing things that bother me. It's also hot out and I'm in my car and I don't have air conditioning in my car. However, update, we did finally get the air conditioning in our house fixed. So I really should probably be filming this video in my house where I'm not going to be like a sweaty mess, but that's all right. I had to run out and pick up some library holds today. I'm working on finalizing state history for my 4th grader for this year. So I need to take a look at those books. Anyway, so I'm out picking those up. I need to pick up a Target order. And so I thought while I'm out and there's not kids running around and opening and shutting the front door, I'd make a little video of some things that have been on my mind lately. So a little chatty and probably a lot of me complaining. So we did get the AC in our house fixed, which is fantastic. It feels amazing. We had one day of that, partial day of that, before we had huge storms blow through our area, and we lost power. So we did not have electricity and therefore did not have our AC. And we had a huge tree blow down in our yard. I made a post about that. Actually, we had 2 trees blow down in our yard. And one was like, you know, really big and came down on our deck. Luckily, it did not hit our house and it did not hit any of us. So that's all good. But I've been dealing with that for the last 3 days and it's been a little stressful. So, and it has kind of put a wrench in my homeschool prep and plans. But anyway, so that's kind of what's going on here. I wish a breeze would blow through this window right now because it's so hot. Anyway, so I made an unpopular opinions video once recently about unpopular opinions about homeschool and ADHD. I'll link that if you're interested in watching it. But today's video is really going to be just, I have some just things that really annoy me both in homeschooling and in the homeschool like YouTube world. And of course my list of notes is on my phone, which I'm using to film, so I'm probably going to forget things or kind of talk all over the place, but that's all right. So one thing that I felt like would maybe be good to kind of start this video with is to kind of talk a little bit shortly about why I am on YouTube, because I think that this is really important. I think that YouTube is amazing. I think it's great for entertainment, and I think it's also a great place to learn and get ideas. But I think that we have to be really careful in what advice we're taking from YouTube and who we're taking information from on YouTube. But before I talk about that, I want to talk a little bit about why I'm on YouTube and what my kind of goals are with YouTube. So I've had a YouTube channel in one way, shape, or form since 2006. And, you know, obviously my channels have changed over time depending on where I was in my life, because the main thing reason I guess that I'm on YouTube is for connection. So whatever area I'm at in my life, I'm looking to YouTube to make connections with people who may be in a similar area, even if they're not exactly like me, you know, they're in a similar area, or season of their life. So that was kind of my main, reason for getting on YouTube so many years ago. And then my other is that I really like to share. It's part of the reason that I became a librarian in the first place. 3 reasons that I became a librarian, if you're interested, is 1, I love books. My parents owned a bookstore, so I grew up around books. I love books, all books. I love just paging through books, you know? I love books. I also love to learn new things. And when you become a librarian, you're basically making a commitment to be a lifelong learner. And so that was reason 2. And then reason 3 is I like to share, I like to problem solve, I like to help. Those may sound like 3 different things, but to me, they kind of all go together. Librarians are probably the biggest group of sharers that I've ever encountered. And in fact, I've done a lot of like workshops and conferences over my years. I've been working in libraries since 2001. I got my master's degree in library science in 2003. So I've been in libraries for a long time. And when I've gone to some conferences and workshops that were not run by people in the library field. And I've heard from multiple of these things, what amazing sharers librarians are, especially public librarians. And that I heard more than once that these people have never met a group of people that freely share as much as librarians do. Probably specifically public librarians, but sharing not just information and resources, but with like the public, but sharing ideas and help and problem solving with each other, like professionally. They're like the least proprietary group I've ever met. And I've found as I've gone into other areas of my life that other professions are not like that. So, connection and sharing. Get back to the point here. Connection and sharing is the main reason that I started on YouTube in 2006, and it's the reason that I'm still on YouTube. Connection probably being the number one reason. It's the reason I get very excited when I get comments on videos, because I like to interact with people. I like to connect with people down in the comments. So, and then I like sharing ideas. I like sharing what I'm doing in hopes that that will solve a problem for someone else, or that will give someone else an idea. So that is why I'm on YouTube. I'm starting to lose my focus, and I'm sorry that this vlog is probably going to be like that, where I kind of chat on about things a little bit too long, but that's why I'm on YouTube. And if you're ever wondering when you watch one of my videos, what is her intent? Why is she making this video? That's why. Typically, either I saw something really cool that I want to show you that I think you might find interesting, or I found something that worked for me that I think might work for you, or just, sharing how I do things in hopes that someone else may find a little nugget of information in there that helps them, or also sharing what I'm doing and having people say, hey, have you ever thought about this? Because then I can get ideas as well. So that's like if you're ever wondering why is she making these videos, that's why, right? My pet peeve is that not everyone is like me. And so a lot of times I watch YouTube videos, homeschool specifically, because that's where so much of my interest is right now. And I find that not everyone else is sharing for the same reason. And that's okay. We don't have to be cookie cutters, right? Of each other. But I think as we are turning to YouTube for support, before we're taking advice from a YouTube video, from a YouTuber, we need to be asking ourselves, what is their intent? Like, why are they making this video? Because so much of what's out there on YouTube anymore is made for money, right? Now, I will also say that however many years I said I was on YouTube, specifically homeschooling has been probably 6 years. Nowhere in that time until 2 months ago was my channel ever monetized, right? So I don't really make YouTube videos for the money, I guess, is why I'm sharing that information. And even now that my videos are monetized, there's this is about how much money I make on my YouTube videos. And the only reason I got monetized is because I became more consistent with my uploading. The reason I became more consistent with my uploading, 2 reasons. One, I found that it helped me be a better homeschool parent. It helped me be more consistent in what I was providing to my kids if I was making videos about it. And also, I felt a responsibility if I was putting videos out saying, here are my curriculum picks, that I really should be making more consistent videos to share how those curriculum picks are going. And I'm not there yet. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm getting there. But so many videos that I'm watching are just like, hey, this is sponsored. I'm getting paid to share this product with you. And I probably am not even going to really use this. And I probably wouldn't buy it with my own money. And so that's like part of it. There's a lot of sliminess out there on YouTube, and people aren't 100% honest with the product that they're sharing and how they got it. And I'll leave it at that. Now, is that to say I've never gotten free product and shared it? No, because I have. I think that's okay. And that's the other point I want to make. I think it's okay for us to use this platform to share information, even if it's something that we got for free. But I think we as the viewer kind of need to keep in mind all of that information when we're watching. Like, is this person really using this curriculum, or are they just making this video to get the views and to get, you know, the payment or to get the product for free or whatever? I know I did a, was it last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago now. I did a video about a homeschool art program, and I did get part of that product for free, but I contacted the company because I was really interested in their product and wanted to try it out. And so I kind of negotiated with them, could I try this out for free if I share about it? And so I did, but I didn't get paid like anything. I got, 4 modules of this art curriculum to try for free. So I'm not against that. That helped us out a ton. I was able to share it with you. I'm still using the product, and I thought it was a good product. Where am I going with this? I just think we need to be careful. We need to be asking ourselves, what is this video creator's purpose and goal in making this video? Before we start taking advice or adding to our shopping list or whatever else, we need to be asking ourselves that question. And it's something I have to frequently remind myself of, but I'm seeing it more and more and more and more, that there's less genuine behavior in a lot of these YouTube videos. There's less honesty and less kind of genuineness. And I feel like if you're making these videos on YouTube, that you have somewhat of a responsibility to the people that are watching your videos to be honest, and also to not share about something that you don't really know a lot about. There's a lot of like experts out there who aren't really experts, and they're giving advice and people are taking their advice, and that's really frustrating for me to see, especially like in the comments of certain videos. A lot of people who maybe are sharing about a product or sharing about a challenge in homeschooling, but they don't really have a lot of experience or knowledge to back it up. They've maybe Googled and they're telling you what Google told them. Or they're sharing a curriculum with you that they got sent for free and they haven't really used it. And just doing a couple of lessons in it, to me, does not count as using it. You haven't given it, like, how does this fit into the rest of your curriculum? How does this work from start to finish? I've been there before where I've raved about a curriculum because I did 1 or 2 lessons, and then when we got further in, I realized, oh, this is not as good as I thought it was. So I think we need to be really careful on who we're taking advice from, kind of in all areas, but especially in this homeschool world. Homeschool curriculum is really expensive, and I've been burned probably too many times seeing a video of someone that I think is like this amazing homeschooler saying this product is amazing and you should buy it and here's my link, and then I bought it and been like, oh, this person isn't even using this curriculum anymore. Now, having said that, I've also bought a lot of curriculum, my own, that I've shared about that I'm not using anymore either, and that's also something that I'm trying to get better with. And it is hard to balance because I think there's a lot of cool stuff out there, and I like purchasing it. I like spending time flipping through it and maybe using pieces and parts, and I want to share it because it's cool, but it's hard to find where that personal responsibility is in sharing. And so I try to be very open and like, I have not tried this curriculum yet, but I think it looks really cool, and just kind of sharing that information. And that's also why I've kind of made a commitment to myself to try to get better with coming back and sharing updates. Like hopefully next week you'll have an update of our summer curriculum picks and how everything went and what our opinions were, because I do think there is a ton of value in that. I feel like I've been talking all over the place, but hopefully some of my points are coming through, and that I feel like we need to be really careful in what and who we're taking advice from on YouTube. And we need to be asking ourselves, what is this person's intent? Why are they sharing this information with me? So that's kind of my first thing. Where do I want to go from there? What's my next thing that's been bothering me lately? Those have been like the big ones, for sure. I'm getting a little bit of a breeze, which is nice. Oh, I know another one I have, that you can't be behind in homeschooling. This bothers me. Okay, being behind in homeschooling and also critical thinking in homeschooling. These are two, it's probably the last two I'll talk about because this video is already getting very long. But I hear this so much, like, you can't be behind in homeschooling. Honestly, I think, yes, you can. And I think that we use that as an excuse to not set and achieve and work towards achieving our goals. I think that we use that, you can't be behind in homeschool, as an excuse for like, we don't really feel like doing school today, but I don't want that stress of feeling like we're behind. So I'm just going to say you can't really be behind in homeschool, but you can. And I feel like this is your kid's future that you're messing with. And I mean, I'm not saying like, you can't ever have an off day or decide to take a day off, because we do that. And honestly, I think in the past that's been one of my big problems. And I think part of that is my ADHD, as far as like not getting school done and then getting behind and then feeling very overwhelmed trying to catch up on everything, and then being like, well, we just have to drop this because I'm overwhelmed and now I can't do it. So like, I've been there. But I think that we need to let go of that. Like, you can't be behind, because you can. And I also think that's not to say like your child may not be at a different level, and by public school standards they might be behind. Like, I think that that's okay to some extent. Just like, what's that called? I can't say that word. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where your child learns at different levels. Like, they may be 6th grade in math and 4th grade in language arts or whatever. Oh my gosh, I feel really dumb right now that I cannot say that word. Asynchronous? I'm going to stop because I'm just making it worse. But anyway, I think that that's okay. And that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I think we should always be aiming to progress. Like, when your kids take, or at least when my kids take standardized tests, I'm not necessarily looking at, are they at grade level? I would like them to be, but I'm really looking at how far did they progress in the last year from when I tested them before. And did they progress about a year's worth? Well, okay, then I wouldn't necessarily consider them behind. But anyway, so that's that. And then what did I say the other one? My other point was that I wanted to make? It's becoming a problem. My memory is becoming a problem. You can't be... critical thinking. This is a big one that I could probably make a whole standalone video on, but I'm not going to. But I think that there are a lot of homeschoolers, and I'm not speaking just about YouTube in this instance, but there is a lot of really bad critical thinking skills being taught in homeschools, and or it's not being taught. And I'm also seeing like that people don't necessarily know the difference between critical thinking and logic. And I guess I feel, here's the unpopular opinion portion of this, that if your critical thinking consists of you teaching your child how to defend your beliefs, that's not critical thinking, and we should be doing better. So that's my thought on that. I really wanted this video to be a little bit more organized than it is, but that's just not my life right now. Things are kind of all over the place. So I apologize for that. Hopefully this chatty style, just me talking at you kind of video is okay with you. And I would love to talk to you down in the comments. I keep getting all these messages on my phone from the insurance company dealing with that whole tree thing. I can see them popping up as I'm filming. But basically my whole, you're probably not even still watching, but if you are, I think my main points in this video was we need to be careful who we're taking advice from on YouTube. We need to ask ourselves why this person is making this YouTube video. You can be behind in homeschool, and critical thinking is not being taught in every homeschool the way that I think it should be taught. So there you go. Those are just my opinions, my things that irritate me, my pet peeves. I would love to talk to you about them down in the comments. There's people coming and I look weird talking to a camera in my car, so I'm going to go. I'll talk to you down in the comments.